This is Jason Warbucks.
This is Lanise.
This is Shenny.
This is your boy Steven, and you're now tuned into
The Perspicax.
What's going on, peeps? It is August the 20th, 2020. And what is this? Episode 7, man? Episode 7 of the Perspicax. What's going on, Shenny? What's going on, Warbucks? What's going on, Lanise? I'm seeing beer smiles. Wagwan.
We're good, man. As always, we are out here. We're excited. We're happy to be together and ready to just jump in, I guess.
Might as well dive in. Yeah.
I'm about to
dive
This
in.
guy beat me to it.
We are 40 seconds in and already on our foolishness. I love it.
We gotta work on this, guys.
Nah, what are you talking about? Yo, with the way how 2020 is moving, like, I'm loving the vibes that you guys bring every week. Because, yo, John, know what? This week's been crazy. And I love every week. This is the same energy and just the same vibes. Because, yo, this year has been nothing but a roller coaster, yo. From what? What do we have this year? From what? Kobe Bryant passing, losing Kobe. That was the beginning of the year, right? That was early. R.I.P. Kobe. Lakers are taking it this year. So from Kobe passing to the whole pandemic, COVID, we had wildfires going on. We had volcanoes. We heard locusts in Africa.
Oh, so you mean like Revelations?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the Bible coming to life.
Literally, bro.
I'm still going. There's more things. The year's not done yet. Where are we? August? We still had Wayfair. We had explosions. Like, yo, this year's been actually kind of crazy, and it's
Kinda.
Yeah, I'm like, kinda.
Yo, I'm trying to.
That's an understatement.
I'm trying to water it down, look a bit still, because
You can't water the year down.
You can't water it down, man.
No, that's big facts. But I know during all this, like, yo, we all made different changes and like different moves in our life to kind of adapt to this year. And I feel like this year was necessary and it was unnecessary, because for me personally, I saved a lot. I'm gonna say about you guys, I saved a lot this year from not going out, not having to go to parties, not hosting parties, unfortunately, because that's what we do, build your vibe. But yeah, that's top on the list of the 2020. I'll say the positives. How about you guys?
I don't know. For myself, I think this whole work from home lifestyle it's been an adjustment. I never expect to work from home. I knew it was possible with my job being a mortgage agent. It's not hard to work from home, but the adjustment of just getting up every morning and having that routine to go to the office, to get ready, set, go, lunch break here. It's like, I realize we're so routined and we don't even realize it. Now when I'm working from home, I wake up, prop myself down. I'm like, okay, should I stay to the routine? Like, it's an adjustment. Yeah. I'm still not comfortable with it fully, and it's been 4 months. But I mean, hey, it's taught me that sometimes you have to be uncomfortable to grow.
I like that. 100%.
For me, it's been a journey, because this was the year I was supposed to graduate from college. For me, going back and doing my 2-year program to all of a sudden doing Zoom calls with your professors, and it was surreal. It was weird that I saw myself at the finish line and then I flojoed and tripped right when the finish line went. But it wasn't me that tripped. It was literally 2020 coming there, sticking a broom in front of me, tripping me right before I finished it.
It was like 2020 was that extra hurdle that you missed. You know what I mean?
And you had no recovery.
A big extra hurdle that you didn't even see coming.
You mean the pothole before the hurdle that you didn't see. That you're like, oops. You're like, no!
Right?
And you just watch it go away.
I hear that. How about you, Lanise?
Yeah, man. 2020 was like you thought you were doing the 100 meters and it was actually steeplechase for any track and field people out there. You're like, where did this water come from? What the heck?
Yeah, that was probably like the best explanation for that. Yeah, for real. Oh man. Dang. But on the other side of that, because I know, like, yo, well, we went from steeplechase to hurdles to just different crazy stuff that this year has brought us obstacle wise, but like on a growth wise, what would you guys think? Like, what has happened this year that has made you sit back and say like, damn, I'm kind of glad that this happened for me still. You know what I mean? Because obviously we're all not glad that, we're locked down for 4 months. But during that time, I'm sure one of us had to have done something. You know what I mean? What about you guys? For me, let me start off. Personally, I was never into the editing. Like before COVID, I was never into editing videos. I was never into editing, period, that much. Because I have Warbucks. I know people that could do it. You know what I mean? But during COVID, I was like, like I have time, internet debout. You know what I mean? Like, what's stopping me from learning these things myself? So that's why I'm not gonna lie, from editing to building a podcast to building shirts I've learned a lot of things this year that I'm grateful for, and it's only August, so there's a lot more in store for me to learn. So I know this year went from Chuck E. Cheese to
Lunchbox.
Or
Lunchables.
Niagara Falls on a rainy day. I don't even know.
What? I'm gonna need a full explanation on that metaphor, please.
No. Yo, not mine. Yo, Warbucks. What was that? I missed that one. Yo, what did you say from what?
You said from Chuck E. Cheese's to Lunchables.
Wow.
But where Shanice was mad, think about it went to Lunchables that your siblings ate and yammed up the 2 crackers and the cheese and put it back thinking you're gonna be good.
And
but
left
when
the ham.
in the box, you're just like, why?
And only see salami.
You know what? When you put it like that,
it's exactly that.
Yeah.
Or it's the Lunchables you thought was good, but it was the packaging missing. So you opened up, there's 2 crackers and maybe 1 piece of salami, like you said. And you're just like, this is me. This is the life I chose.
Wow.
I'm giving that to somebody else still.
Wow.
Trade off to somebody. Yo, what snack did you get? Oh, okay.
Yo. Yo, Warbucks. Yo. Sometimes
Yo, man.
Oh my
god. For the record, I was tired. I ate some food, so now I'm good. I'm back to work.
Yo, on a personal growth level, bro, I felt like, you just got funnier this year. I don't know, maybe it's because, we're more interacting, but, bro, I don't know. Yo, keep it up, bro. You're killing me. You're killing me.
That's what I do, man.
On a personal growth-wise, like, what have you, like, I know you're into the photography. I know you do that regularly, like I said, day in, day out thing for you, but what has made you look at this year differently?
Honestly, it's just thinking that things could happen and you just have to hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. Because we never knew this was going to come and just literally whap us across the face. So we're just like, wow, what are we going to do? So
I like what you did there. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Reference, tune into last week's episode.
Every time. I'm always the one that drops those. But to me, I had to say, okay, fall back and just work on your craft because eventually things are going to open back up again. So I really hunkered down on my marketing. I really thought about everything I have to do and say, okay, when things open up, I've got to be the first horse out the gate. Because everyone else is going to be ready to, like, all the other photographers, everyone out there that wants to work, as soon as they see things kind of clear up, they're going to be running up the gate trying to get business. So I'm like, okay, I need to work on my marketing. And even now still, I'm working on my marketing and figure out how to put myself forward. So this year I didn't really get to be isolated at home because as being a essential, as I would call it, I was out there in that crow they call madness. But I basically had to sit down and think about, okay, I don't want to see myself here in 2021, whether it be trapped in a house or trapped somewhere. I want to find a way to elevate. So I put myself to it.
I like that. Of course.
Lanise, what about you?
I really liked what Steven said earlier about like saving. He was talking about saving money, which yes, I've definitely not been spending as much, I should say. Even just like saving money on gas and the commute was lovely. But for me, I feel like the biggest thing was saving my energy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like for people who know me or knew me, I guess, I was always very. Oh, you guys should see that. You should see their faces right now.
Yo, sounded like a shot, low key.
Never. What? I don't throw shade. No, I throw a lot of shade. Anyways, so before quarantine, I was always super, super busy, like juggling 5 different commitments at a time, full-time school, work, volunteering, friendships, relationships, everything. And having to stay home and relax myself has been actually really eye-opening. Like, I knew that I needed to slow down a little bit and spend more time just resting. But when I was forced into it, I actually really enjoyed it. So for me, I feel like I've saved so much energy, and I'm at the point now where, like, I'm not trying to be double and triple booked anymore, even once things are completely opened up. Like, if there's something that I'm invited to and I don't want to go, I don't feel like I have to make up all these excuses anymore. Like, Warbucks is laughing because I feel like, yeah, like I'm just ready to be straight up. Like, hey, I don't think I can make that work, and that's that. You know, like if it's not something that I really just want to do, then I'm probably not gonna do it.
It's not in my cards. I'm sorry. I have other things to do.
I'll touch on that because very similar to yourself, I'm always on the go, hot foot. That's what they say I am. Forever, never home. There's a bunch of list goes on, right? And it's just like, okay, I see what everybody's saying, but like what I'm doing are things I enjoy. I'm never doing something that I don't enjoy. But one thing I think 2020 taught me on a personal growth level is it's okay to not do anything. That doesn't mean that you're not growing. Yes, people are out here starting businesses, and all of a sudden you see everybody has some body butter come out, or a shampoo, or t-shirts, or something. Like, everybody has something. All of a sudden, everybody turned entrepreneur, and snaps all around. I'm all here for it. Big up yourself. But like, it's okay to spend those 3 days and do nothing. And I think that's what this has taught me, that similar to what you were saying, Lanise, is like, it's okay. That doesn't mean that I'm not being successful. That doesn't mean that I'm not pushing towards my goals. It means like I'm restarting, resetting, and getting ready for what I have to do. And I think that's preparation we actually don't do. We don't give ourselves time to get ready for the next stage in our life because we're always trying to get to the next stage of our life.
And 100%, that's so necessary, because at the end of the day, not all of us are doing the same things in our lives. You know what I mean? Because, you could have the most busiest life and I couldn't, and I could never compare it to you. You know what I mean? So, of course, you resetting and taking that, you saying, saving energy was the best thing for you. I understand that. You know what I mean? Like, you have to, because some people are out there working 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. You know what I mean? So, 100%.
I'm one of them. I'm always on the grind all the time. Just keep moving.
100%.
I need to learn to take some time for myself. And just lock off people. No matter how much they feel they need me, I need to still give back to myself. That's one thing I need to learn.
In that essence of quote unquote locking off people, like, has this year kind of showed you who your real friends, or like who is there for me from the jump, or this year really just confirmed what you already thought?
Who wants this first?
Shenny, go on now.
You spoke first, so I guess it's you, Shenny.
Someone pick me. Listen, I think you touched on all of it. This year, just not being able to be as available to others as I once were or was. My apologies. I get to see who's actually in my corner. So if I'm not doing something with you all the time, are you still going to hit me up and be like, hey, how are you doing? Right. And it's not having like those needy friendships, but it's just seeing the caliber of friendships that you truly do have, because there's some people you have only for parties. And if no parties are happening, you won't hear from them. But you know that that's their zone. That's their lane that they stay in with you.
Yeah. You know, when you see them at a party, it's a vibe.
Right? Like all the time. Like, hey, and like big time friend in the party the whole time. But mind you, you never really check for nobody. But it's not a problem because that's the lane that you stay in. Mm-hmm. But it was interesting in the past 4 months to see people that you thought were your friends not being as not communicating as much, not checking in. And again, I'm not saying like everyday check-ins are necessary, but you get to see the true light of people. And I think you said frenemies, I think you said.
Yeah.
You learn who's really in your corner, because the little things, that you do, you can see who's really there to support you and who's there chatting behind your back negatively and then smiling in your face. And everything that's done in dark comes back to light. So like 2020 vision was right now. It's right now. Everything is becoming clear. And I know I wear little spectacles, but yes, I can't see everything now.
You said 40.
Right? In our 2020.
Don't do it.
Oh, man. But yeah, no, that's my take on it.
I'm going to say something. Well, I'm going to just say, like, I see people come and go a lot in my industry, in my life. There's times that people will pop out of nowhere that when I see their text, I'm just like, oh, it's not to really check on me. There's a few people I could say in this, like, 4 or 5 months that I know that they would check on me, see if I'm good, see how I'm holding it down. And those who just kind of pop up, I'm just like, all right, well, you're basically here for something of benefit. So say what you need to say. Let's exchange how we need to exchange, and then keep it moving because there's no time for it. Everyone wants something from somebody.
Yep.
And like in my industry, it's always when it's of their benefit, not to help me. They just look to see, oh, wow, I remember this person, and I'll just hit them up and expect me to basically do cartwheels and doggy tricks for saying, oh yeah, you'll jump and do it. But in reality, it's as older as I get, I look back and see the people I've seen that have been with me on my journey, and I've seen those people who were just jumping on the bandwagon, just trying to get a one-stop driver, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
They're just trying to
a free ride. Yeah.
They're just trying to hop on the caboose of it.
Sucks.
And I've learned from it. An incident happened, I learned from it. And I just you gotta take a step. Like those people you kind of have to see. You can't really give those people all that energy.
No.
Right.
You can't say, don't humor them. You say, okay, hey, what's up? Don't go into big time conversation, because if they see you on the road, they're either gonna want to hold a little conversation or pull the Kawhi Leonard where they're just looking at their tablet and pretend they're looking at something.
With the home screen on, in case anybody was wondering.
With the home screen on it. They're just
Right?
gonna look at it and then act like nothing happened.
Facts.
Those who text you up, or those who hit you up, like people might hit us up now, say, oh, I see you have a podcast. Do you mind if you guys like shout something out? It's like, I haven't heard from you in about 3 years. You want me to shout you out?
Well, brother, funny you said that already. Yeah, I got some of those already, so.
Yeah, it's like, it's cool that we're cool like that, but I can't just give out like that, because where is it for me? And then they'll turn around, oh, so you think you're big and bad now? No, I'm docile and soft. But doesn't mean I'm going to give you nothing.
Facts. Yeah, I like that. This guy. Oh, man. Yo, ladies, how about you?
Yeah, man, I get everything you guys are saying. I think one way I have thought about friendships for a really long time is like there are different friendships for different things in your life.
Yeah.
I think Shenny was kind of talking about this, right? Like there's some people who they're just there for the good times, right? Like when you're with them, it's really lighthearted, it's cool, it's fun, you have a vibe, and like that's kind of it. There's other people who, you know, maybe you worked with them and you can reminisce about old times, you know, that sort of thing. And then there's other people where like you can talk with them a little bit more deeply. They're like your inner circle and that sort of thing, right? And even within that, you might talk about different things in your life with different people, right? It's just every relationship is different. So for me, during this like 2020 time, it was kind of like in some cases, it was kind of eye-opening. But for me, even now, as you guys are talking, I was thinking like, were those friendships still playing the same role that they were before? Does that make sense?
Oh, it does.
So,
Make
like,
a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Right? So like if you've been a confidant for like years, were you still a confidant in this time? Or if you were just like party fun, you know, whatever, were you like sending me funny memes, you know, or like funny videos to kind of like keep the spirits up and like joking back and forth, you know?
Keep the vibe,
Because, I guess like there are some people who I think, Warbucks was just saying like sometimes people have friends who, or acquaintances who kind of just pop up when they want something. But like I've even had people pop up who I haven't talked to for like 5, 6, 7 years, but it's for something good. They'll be like, oh, hey, I saw you wrote this blog post. It was really good. Like, I know we haven't spoken in a while, but just wanted to reach out and, that sort of thing. So,
Now, say, yo, if the whole world never link you after that blog, yo, something wrong still.
yo, that's fair. That's fair. I forgot you guys knew what I was talking about.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I feel like it goes both ways. For me, like, if there's someone I haven't spoken to in a long time and they reach out like, hey, I see that you know this person, or I'm looking for a job in, this area. Like, do you have any leads? Like, I'm cool with helping them out because, they're a person. I know them. I like them.
Yeah.
I can help. That's cool.
Exactly.
But I just kind of know, like,
what you want.
Right? Like, these are my friends. These are my acquaintances. These are people I'm cool with.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how I go about it. But in my opinion, like, I don't have any fake friends. If you're someone who's fake, you're very likely not my friend. So.
Now, I was going to touch on that. I forgot. But, it's a cliche saying that it's probably been passed on from generations. Well, my mom used to tell me all the time. I went to school. I come back saying my friend this and my friend that. And she'd say, not everybody you call friend is your friend.
Facts.
And listen, when I tell you 2020 just made that 10 times more visible, because again, like, you really get to understand yourself. And that's something else I want to add is your friends do change as you change, right?
Yeah.
They say that you should be like the 5 people closest to you is what you should aspire to be like. And some of these 5 people might all play different roles. Some might be able to love more than others, so you want to learn that aspect. Some might be business minded. Some might be like just able to let loose and have a good time. And it's just building yourself. And I find like in this 2020 year, we've all grown and we're not who we were. Like you were saying, Lanise, we're not who we were. We're elevating ourselves. Well, aiming to elevate ourselves in every step of the way. And I think that if you have friends that adjust themselves accordingly, or you don't feel connections as strong, it might not be them. It literally might be you, and you and them are not on the same level anymore. And it's no disrespect to the person that, you're separating from, but you're growing.
Yeah.
There's a saying my mom says.
Let me hear that.
Go ahead.
A friend is a friend, whether it be $1 or $1 million. If a friend counts your pennies, your friend's not worth your cents.
Wow.
Whoa, you need to drop that again. Drop that again.
Say that again.
Let me turn my listening ears on.
Look us slower.
Come true.
A friend is a friend, whether it be you have $1 or $1 million. If your friend has to count your cents, your friend not have no sense.
Wow.
I'm just snapping over here.
Let me lean back in my chair.
I see the lean back still, yo.
Because you always say when I'm like, oh, I'm going to go hang with this friend, or I'm going to see this, I'm like, yo, not everyone you grow with, you're going to remember.
No, that's facts.
The 3 people you say your friend here in high school, not going to be the 3 friends you have when you're growing up.
Brother, you got the same.
You not have to be friend everybody.
Yep, the same. I got the same talking over here, bro.
Not everybody, not everything. Like they say, oh my God, not everything that look good for yam, good for taste.
I like.
Okay.
Oh
he's coming through with the Jamaican promise.
Yo, which Jamaican book you read, dog?
No, that's straight from mom. That's straight from mom.
I know, I'm playing out. I can attest to that.
Mom's always at that.
Nah, for sure. But yo, for real, for me, 2020, like yo, everybody has said it. It really all about knowing who is in your corner and know who isn't. Because yo, what I've been pushing this whole time is like I notice things, but I just adjust them accordingly. You know what I mean? You have to. You can have people like you said that you party with, and just know that you only party with them. Don't link. You know what I mean? Know that's who you're partying with, and you have people that, all right, yo, I have a business idea. I'm gonna go link this person. You have to separate them, and like you were saying, Shenny, there's different people you have in your life that add something and that you need. Because at the end of the day, yeah, they like to party, but obviously they have something else going on in their life that you like about them as well.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? 2020 has really just taught me how to separate people and keep them in that category. Because at the end of the day, people are doing the exact same thing. Just like Warbucks was saying, people them, as soon as things open back up, they want photographer and want Warbucks come right away. You know what I mean? That's not gonna happen.
Right.
That's not gonna happen. So you know those people, and you just have to put them in their local spaces and keep them in their local memos or in your Samsung notes and say, boom, All right, can't talk to this person
Samsung
today.
Notes.
Sorry for whoever.
It's true though.
Yo,
You're lucky you never said Windows
I
Notes
like because yo,
or
sometimes
memo
some
pad.
people think you're supposed to be linking them every day. It's I know so it got still.
Yeah. No, I
There,
don't have to link you every day unless you're family or someone close. Other than that, I see you on the scroll up on the IG.
Or
Like your picture, keep it
or
with
you're
me.
adding something to my life. And I read something the other day. It's like, yo, giving someone your time is like it was like your time is like an investment. If no one's really using your time wisely, then what the hell? Why are we here? You know what I mean? Like, so
You're
that's
wasting your investment.
exactly. So that's really what
absolutely.
2020 has like brought to my eyes clear and bold because there's a lot of people that's linked me this year for stuff, and it's only because I have a brand or like I told you guys, I started video editing, I started editing. People are linking me like this now, and it's like, oh, they want stuff for free or they want me to do things right away. I'm just like, yo,
Nah, boom.
The
Ah,
answer is no
that's
for 500
funny.
Bob.
throughout this COVID, man, I work hard for try it. Do something, man. You want to come
Try to
squeeze you off
live.
of my things, man? Nah, yo. But
Man, I feel like, oh gosh, that's a
I
whole
know. Let me hear it though. Don't
Talk
stop
of
your
the talk.
don't stop your thought, yo, because we might not come
other
back to it.
thing. Like when you start to build your skill, right? And people start to see the skill, they start to know you for a certain thing that you can do.
Pointing at me here.
Yeah, yeah. And it happens a lot with people in the arts especially where it's like, "Oh, the payment is the exposure."
Yeah. Wow.
No,
Wow. Oh
no, no,
no.
no, no.
Or
Yeah,
or
Warbucks is fuming.
or you're gonna get. Oh, I was gonna give you credit for it. What?
Excellent,
Well,
as you
the big
should,
one,
but
when you have like
also
100 followers, and I'm gonna give you a shout out.
stop
I
it.
don't
You
need
came for their
that.
follower count. But
Warbucks
real
is
talk,
blowing up.
it's like okay, maybe when you're just starting out and you're actually just trying to hone the skills a little bit,
Yeah.
yeah, of course, take the opportunity to practice. That's great. The
Yeah.
exposure, yeah, cool. But at
Yeah.
the point where you're putting in hours, like you said, your time is an investment, right? Like,
Yeah.
so I for like a couple actually for quite a while now have been like dabbling in public speaking, and I've gotten some really cool opportunities, like gotten to lead workshops, gotten to sit on a panel, gotten to speak at conferences.
Oh,
But just this
congrats.
year, like somebody put my name forward to lead a training at a nonprofit, and so I'm like talking to the head of HR for this big company and whatever. And then she's like, okay, so it seems like you're in and you'd be a really good fit to do this training. What's your rate? And at that point, I was like, dang, in all these years doing all these different talks, no one has ever like paid me for it. Like it's always been like, oh, like a little stipend or honorarium at the end, or like, building my skill, but no one's been like, hey, like, how much are you going to invoice us for this service that you've provided?
Yeah.
So that was a whole other journey. And I'm glad that I had people who are further along in the public speaking realm and like hosting realm that I could talk to, and they could give me pointers. Because I'm like, I want to value myself and my time adequately. So, yeah.
And clearly you're good at that. So I feel like that's your niche, your forte. You know, your calling.
Well,
Thank you.
look at that. Look at 2020. Look at
Right.
that. It doesn't only bring
Look at
negatives, it
that.
also brings positives.
Right?
Oh,
And you know, I have glasses for our 2020 vision, all right?
it's true.
Stop
Yup.
that.
Okay, I can take mine off
Same
right
thing.
now. You look a little blurry, but I can take it off. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. But that's something I was thinking about. Is like, you know how you were saying like you never actually got paid for it until now? Like that would be a kind of like, so to speak, a negative thing that you've been doing all this work and you haven't reaped a benefit. So what are like some of the other, I guess, negatives that you guys have felt have happened this year that have you been able to do full circle positives for?
Cutting people out of my life that I don't need.
Sorry, Borbux, or maybe you might even lead it into 2021 too.
I guess for me, I'd say building relationships. And
Okay.
That's
And-
hilarious because Warbucks' answer is literally the opposite.
I know. But for where I'm going, it's like, yeah, COVID stopped a lot of things for a lot of people, but it also can show you what can you offer someone that has nothing or doesn't have it right now, but we'll need it when things open back up. You know what I mean? So that's why for me, it's building relationships because COVID is not going to last forever. Hopefully,
Everybody's
but
crossing
Yeah, for
fingers.
those of you who can't see, we got our fingers crossed over here.
fingers well crossed.
Hopefully.
But yeah, coming out of this, I'm trying to build as much relationships. I'm trying to network, and that's all I've been doing since COVID. Yo, shout out to the Rona team because cold calling just helped me boost it up a lot. So turning a negative to a positive for sure, because I was never one to say, oh, boom, I needed help with this, or I'm gonna randomly message someone that I want to sponsor from. I was never gonna do that ever. You know what I mean? But during the documentary and like just building confidence from that, it helped me greatly because most of the game night sponsors you've seen me have on our lives or on our lives because of COVID have been from cold messaging people, just randomly shooting stuff out and say, oh, would you be able to do this? And that's why I'm saying, building relationships during this COVID has been my top priority because it's coming out of this is 100% necessary. Because we're not friends forever, and friends are friends, yes, but we need some more than friends.
Okay, there again, another line drop. So we got that positive of building relationships, and Warbucks, yours was the opposite. Do you want to take the floor?
Yes, but it's actually not really a negative. It's my camera fixed. My business is my garden. My fruits are my labors. I do not need weeds choking my jobs, my labors. The weeds in the garden that do not benefit my garden need to be removed from my garden.
Yo, fam.
Come through metaphor.
I understood that whole metaphor. Shoot.
This guy had a whole writing session on the DVP on the way here. You're sick, bro.
Poetry.
No,
man, that's what I think of things, man. It's just
not well said though.
My business is something. No, it's literally just what I thought of my heart.
Yeah.
My business is something that I'm growing. It's something I wanted to flourish, and I wanted for it to be something that will help others be able to benefit from there. If there's weeds in your garden and you do not take them out, the weeds will kill your plants. So what 2020 has taught me is take the weeds out. Don't pass them by and think they won't bother it. They will bother, they will hinder, and they will stifle you to the point where your plants aren't growing, and then you're blaming yourself for not focusing on it.
And I think to add to that, hand picking them rather than using the pesticides is a better option.
No. Don't find other solutions to go in and take up the problems yourself.
There we go.
Go in there. If it doesn't help, it's the same thing like I said last week. Garbage in, garbage out.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not putting things good, you are going to reproduce the bad.
Yeah, facts.
So those people that want a negative, and if in the few months, if no one built up what they've been doing in this year, if them sitting at home not fully just Netflixing, not saying how can I make myself better for things coming, then they're the weeds, and those weeds gotta go.
Facts.
No room for dandelion.
No room for dandelion.
Dandelions.
Nice. I can't with you.
Yo, I feel like there's quotes in our 7 podcasts that we need like written out for a book or something. No, you know what I mean? Like, there's some legit like quotes in here. But yeah, man, like I said, 2020, you just gotta Warbucks said it perfectly. I shouldn't even talk after that because make sure you pick them weeds out and maintain your garden because that's really what it is. Really what it is.
I gotta hear from you.
Lanise said what?
Me?
Yeah.
Didn't I already answer this question? What was the question?
Nah, she did. She kind of ended off. She was saying, what made you your negatives and the positives, and you were
and how are you going to carry it into 2021?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So definitely just focusing more on how I'm using my time and my energy, how I'm scheduling myself, and just having more time for rest for sure. I guess a big negative into positive would still be in the work realm.
Okay.
So I was lined up to be starting a new job in April. have I talked about this on the podcast yet? Honestly, I can't remember, so I'll just give like quick context.
Talk it again.
Yeah, why not?
Talk the
For
things
those of
done.
you who
Talk
are
it
just
again.
tuning in, this may be your first episode. Welcome to the Perspicax. So I was lined up to start a new job in April, and it was going to be working with youth. And yeah, obviously I was really excited about it. It was going to be awesome, I think. But then with the quarantining and the COVID restrictions, the program had to be shut down. The start date for my job was pushed back indefinitely and then just like canceled. Like the job doesn't exist anymore, which was unfortunate. But at the same time, I think even just the process of like preparing to walk into that role was really good for me personally. Like just being ready to leave the setting that I was in, and how to navigate that transition was really good. But also now, like I've got a really good prospect lined up of what I should be doing next. I can't say too much about it right now because the details aren't all worked out. But it'll be even like more in my field. I'm really excited to work with the person who would be my boss at this new role, and so yeah, I think it's going to be one of those things where it looked like a negative, losing my job with COVID, but I think in the long run, it's going to be a positive. I just kind of have to be patient with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess patience is another positive that came out of it.
The most realist quote: "Everything happens for a reason," and until the reason happens and you understand, you're like, all right, cool, like makes sense. You know what I mean?
For sure. Like I've been telling this story to people, and they're always like, "Oh my gosh, like it's so horrible that you lost your job." Like, or people are asking me like, "Man, are you looking for another one? What's going on?" And I'm like, honestly, like I'm relaxed. And they're like, I feel like quite a few people have been surprised like how I'm handling it this way. I'm like, yo, God's got me. Like whatever things I had planned for myself, whatever happens instead is going to be way better. So I'm chilling. I have faith in that.
Facts. Before we continue, a quick break. My bad, Shenny. Quick break. I know, right? Come right back at you. Break from our sponsors, a word from our sponsors.
This podcast is available on all platforms. Hey, everybody. Thanks for sticking around. We are back. So the final point, I just wanted to say, it's been really cool seeing how in 2020 we've been able to take negatives and turn it into positives, take lost opportunities and turn them into new opportunities. So I'm excited. Shenny, what does that look like for you?
I mean, the negatives that I've experienced in 2020 come on several different aspects, but I think one of like the best things that I got out of this to take into 2020 is more so my mindset. I can't let little things bother me. Like if friendships happen to disappear or disintegrate due to the fact that I'm growing, then hey, some get mended, some get ended. It's what it's supposed to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As you said, Steven, everything happens for a reason. And I think one of the ways that I will be taking, I guess, what I learned from this year and what I'm trying to bring into next year is making sure that whatever I have in my mind, I'm not just keeping it in my mind locked up and keeping it as an idea, as a dream, as a thought. Because a dream written down becomes a date with a goal, and a goal broken down into steps becomes a plan. A plan backed by action becomes reality. So I got to stop sitting here with all these thoughts in my head and bring them to light and to life in 2021 so that I can actually have that dream that I wanted it to be a reality.
Shenny, that's big, yo. Because that's honestly how I've been rocking. Like stuff come to my mind, I'm on it. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to make it happen right away. So,
and you wouldn't have been like that if 2020 didn't happen.
100%.
I've known you for a while now.
I know I'm cutting in my time because Orbos is gonna speak after this. But 100%. Because this year taught me that why not? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I could do. There's a lot of things that we don't give ourselves credit for, or we just don't even attempt it. Honestly, I've done so much this year that I'm surprised at myself, and I'm surprised at the rate of how much better I'm getting at it. So, this year, it went from a negative, but it's continued to positive in the aspect of personal growth and finding ways to better myself and better life in itself. Because things are gonna happen in your life. Obviously, gonna happen regardless. It's a matter how you bounce back, how you adapt to it, and how you basically how you rebound. Because what if you're not falling, you're not learning, right? So that's really that. Hey, you know what I mean? That was just one of them still. But I wanted to leave you guys with a little quote that I felt like was necessary because I know everyone's going through something this year, but this quote says, with everything that has happened to you, you can either feel sorry for yourself or treat what has happened as a gift. Everything is either an opportunity to grow or an obstacle to keep you from growing, and you get to choose. And that's from Wayne Dyer. It's a bigger quote still, and I feel it's so real. You have the opportunity to choose, and it's up to one of us. It's up to yourself to say, am I gonna sit here and chill out and waste time, or am I gonna jump on YouTube or jump on an online class or better myself in some sort of way. So 2020 has definitely brought positive aspects in my mind. A lot of negative too, but the positives outweigh the negative 100% because we're still alive, still able to do a lot of things. So God bless. How about you, Warbucks?
2020 definitely, like everyone says, is an eye opener, but things have looking good for me because I'm assisting under a really well-known photographer in Toronto that's taking me under his wing.
Shout out Steve Cardi. Has my name.
Has your name. Exactly. Every time I hear that, I'm just like, they have the same
every
name.
time I see it, I'm just like, how does this guy have my name? Like, what?
Don't worry, I've been wanting to do ancestry on you guys. I'm just like,
unheard of. People with the
Lanise,
same
like first
name,
last name, exact same.
You're right. That is wild. If someone had my first name and last name, I would trip out. So
yeah, well, a lot of people
and he knows
Warbucks.
Like what? Sorry, Warbucks. Yeah,
a lot of people have my name too, so it's kind of weird at that. But learning under him, and he's saying like, we had a talk today. He's like, he wants to see me build up to be something big in 2 years, because he says anyone that's really learned under him in 2 years are on their own. They're doing big productions for Vogue, Elle magazine. So with everything that kind of shut down this year, I kind of looked and see, you know what? It's a build up to the next year coming. Mm-hmm. So I don't have to worry about, I don't have to sit here and, well, every day I wonder what 2020 is going to be coming up with next. It's literally like it's like the greatest sitcom drama of all time. Facts. I wonder what's next on there. But my aspect and goals is towards 2021. I want to travel. I want to build. I want to open the school I wanted to open. There's a lot I'm thinking and planning towards, and I'm just gearing up for it. So doors are opening. I just got to make sure my hand's on the knob when it turns.
Yeah. And continue to build your vibe, brother. I love
Wait a second. What? Doors are opening. He just has to make sure his hand is on the knob when it turns.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put some gunshots in this episode.
No, real talk.
Some sound effects, because I think we just dropped bars all like. I want to know which rapper is gonna listen to this podcast and put it in their song.
Bars.
Yo, the Perspicax album coming soon.
We dropping out real soon with all these bars. Shoot. Wow. 16.
My gosh.
Bars.
Man, we always out here, man.
Out and bad.
Out and bad. 2020 vision up and ready. Yo, episode, what is it? 7?
7.
Episode 7, man. Warbucks, Shanice, Lanise. Yo, like I said, was a 7 out of infinity. Let's keep it rocking, man. Let's keep it rocking. I'm loving the vibes. Like, share, comment,
subscribe.
Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Yo, share it with your mom, share it with your sister, your mom's friend, your enemies, your friends,
your frenemies.
Let's just keep this vibe flowing, man. Continue to build your vibe. Don't let 2020 hold you down. We still got a couple more months to go, you know what I mean? So
you can turn it around. The game's not done
easily.
Yet.
Yes, sir.
All right, Perspicax episode 7. We're out.
Catch the Perspicax on Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, YouTube, and other streaming platforms.
This is Jayson Warbucks.
This is Lanise. This is Shenny.
This is your boy Steven, and you're now tuned into
the Perspicax.